you're talking to classes or you're talking to lay communities, you have to understand that they don't understand how this is done. And you may be talking about your research and everything's hunky-dory, and you're going to get a question about it that really knocks you for a loop. And so think about that when you're putting your presentation together. There's some remarkable resources from NWABR that can help you with that. But I have a few things that I won't spend a lot of time on. I just want you to be aware that these are the kind of questions that you'll get. Some of them are positive. Some of them are just very personal. They want to know if the animals suffer. They want to know why it's okay. They want to know different things about how you treat them. If you're more of a lab-based scientist and you use animals peripherally, you also might not be aware of the regulations that are in place, or you may not be able to talk about it in an effective way. So I just wanted to make sure that you thought about these questions when you put your slide presentation together for different audiences. I think one of the other important things is that even though we use animals, we are always working on ways to reduce animals in research, and this is a slide that you can use to show the 3 R's, which are replacement, using alternative methods to animal research, reduction. There's a lot of statistical work on how to reduce the number that you need to show something, and refinement in how you use animals. So these are principles that govern a lot of animal research, and is perhaps a message you can work into your presentations. I think too, what I've heard a lot when I've spoken to classrooms is there's a lot of publicity out there about animal-free products. I know Retha works a lot on teaching kids about that fallacy, but this is something that you may be faced with as a researcher. You know, isn't it better that I buy these products that say animal-free or cruelty-free on their label rather than those products that don't? And so it's important, even though you may be in biomedical research, you may be getting a question about cosmetics that you need to be prepared to answer. But I'm sure you all know that any institution that uses animals in research has an Animal Care and Use Committee, or IACUC. And what I have in here is a description of the IACUC here at Children's. And I just wanted to point out that this is a very high priority committee, and it reports into the president of research at Children's. It's not some little committee that's off on the side someplace. If you're comfortable with it, there are a lot of visual materials that you can share with audiences. Some of these you may be comfortable sharing or not. I just put them up there that there are some materials that have been created to help counter some of the public messages about animal research that you find in the news quite a bit. This one says it's the animals you don't see that really helped her recover instead of her teddy bear. I think an important message up there is that a lot of animal research is directed at animals themselves. Every time you take your cat to the veterinarian, it's because of animal research that they can do something. And this is one that I like because of my personal experience, that thanks to animal research, they'll be able to protest 23.5 years longer. So let me just move quickly to clinical research. Important messages that you can deliver are that no therapeutics have ever been developed without human clinical trials, that it's a requirement as well as it's needed to understand how these new therapeutics work. And in general, even if the drug fails, most clinical trials will increase our understanding of health in some way. Here are some frequently asked questions about clinical trials. A lot of times people are very interested. They want to know if they can participate. They may have questions about their personal health information. They want to know who's going to cover costs. There's all kinds of questions that can come at you that you may not be prepared for if you haven't thought about it ahead of time. I just wanted to leave you with some important, at least what I think are important translational messages. I think first off, make it clear that translational research covers a very broad spectrum from basic through clinical and beyond. that it's built on a succession of studies. There are no magic bullets. There's no fast way through this, and making sure that you can explain that it's built on the basic to animals, to humans, and what the time frame is, I think will go a long way to helping people understand how long it takes and how much it costs. I think the other thing is that to be successful in therapeutics development, you have to have strong private-public partnerships. There's no use wasting time talking about bad companies and good researchers. It's really a complete waste of time. They have to work together in order to get new therapies out. I think we've mentioned here today that animal and clinical research is very important. At any time, you shouldn't shy away from it in your talks. You should be able to go at it confidently and talk about it if that's what you do. There's national programs in place right now to help facilitate that. If that's something you'd like to talk about, there's a lot of information on the NIH website. I think it's important for people to know that all of the major research institutions in the Seattle area are working together with this Institute of Translational Health Science, and that the public can get involved at many different levels.